So the last time I made a video, I was thinking about purpose and what I was called to do. And there's different ways of looking at that. I'm not just talking about the spiritual calling, although that there is that element of that that I struggle with. But there are certain things that all Christians are called to do, and I didn't want to belabor that in thinking about it. That's a checklist that I've got to work on perpetually all my life. But as far as the practical end of that, what is my calling? What is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing with the hours of my day? That's what I'm having trouble with right now. I'm doing some freelance work, but I don't know that I'm doing things that are helping, that are useful, and that's a big thing with me. When you look around and you try to look into finding your purpose and everything. I mean, I've read The Purpose-Driven Life. I've read all these things, searched around online, everything from Christian advice to business advice to even, I think somebody had a page that was sort of Buddhist in leaning. One thing a lot of them had in common was just asking questions. What are you good at? What is it that you do well? Which is contrasted from what is it that you like to do? Because you might be very good at something and really hate it. I don't know. But another question was, what's important to you? What are the things that move you? And this one was I guess I got parked on this one a little while. What did you want to be as a child? What were you dreaming of being as a kid? And for me, that was the stage, film, television, acting, singing, whatever. That's where I thought I would be headed. What I didn't know is that I was going to be very short, and that's a handicap in some ways. But also, I didn't have the drive and the nerve and the guts to pursue those things. And then when I thought I could, I let a lot of other things sidetrack me, and that's on me, and I know that. And eventually I became a drama teacher, which that was one thing I was pretty good at. I'm still getting nice notes from parents of my students who are still pursuing acting in school. There's nothing like that. That knowing that you've touched a child's life and they remember you years later as part of what equipped them to do what they're doing, that's special. That's a great thing. But I miss it. I miss the kids. I miss that connection and the ability to do that. But that chapter's closed now. I'm good at writing. Good. Not great, but I'm good. My problem is all the things that I want to write are things nobody needs to read or wants to read or cares about reading. I'm better at editing. So it might be hard for me to get my own sentiments and words onto paper or in a file online. But if someone else has something that they want to say, I generally am helpful about getting them to say it without having distractions of the grammar parts or anything, but also making sure they're clear and the things they're saying are translating properly. So I'm a fairly good editor. My new thing is holding journalism as a field accountable, poking at sites that do fake news. I've started a Facebook group about that in its infancy, a Facebook page about that. It's in its infancy. It's not got much traction yet, but the goal is eventually, regardless of what the sites are, the names of the sites, the tactics are going to be the same. And so teaching people the tactics of how to spot fake news, that's something I'm fairly good at. And I make truffles. I make good desserts, and without the investment in a commercial kitchen or partnership with someone who has one, that's not happening either. I can't do that professionally. I'd like to, but there's so much of the lack of capital holds me back from, and that's just the way it is. So those were things that I was good at, but then the questions were, what do you care about? What are you passionate about? And a lot of that is politically related. It would be after 20 years. And I think my problems now are I'm getting to the point where I've seen that the 20 years I've invested have availed nothing in advancing these causes. And so now it's time to try something different, something else that might advance those causes. And it's things like protection for life, protecting life, and education for children, getting good opportunities for education, poverty and economic opportunity for people, a whole list of justice reform issues like asset forfeiture and the death penalty and overcriminalization and things like that. Maybe those don't sound very conservative, but those are the things that move me, that I want to see fixed, I want to see changed, I want to see get better. And I'm trying to figure out a way to do that with the few skills that I have, the few abilities that I have. And it would be nice to be able to support us better doing that. But again, all the things that I tend to be good at are remarkably difficult to monetize. I'm spectacularly equipped with a lot of skills that are not very marketable. That was the way it was put to me one time. That was lovely. But the big question I think that all these sources that I looked at came to at the end was, what legacy do you want to leave behind? And that's what's made me so angry about wasting 20 years in the political arena that I did. Tonight is my last Republican committee meeting, and that's why this is on my mind today. I get to say goodbye to all this stuff formally tonight. I'm not refiling for the position I have, and I'm reading through my emails and message boards online about this meeting, and I'm really glad to be saying goodbye to it. But at the same time, what do I do with the next 20 years, if God gives them to me, to be more effective? It breaks my heart that I have wasted this much time pursuing these things that I want in a way that was guaranteed not to avail success. So it's time for the next plan of attack, I guess. I have an idea for a book that maybe might utilize my writing and leave something behind that maybe somebody years down the road will pick up and find useful too. So I mean, there's that opportunity, but mostly it's just I'm waiting to see what doors open or what windows open, and that's a hard part. It's a hard wait for that, because I need to feel useful. I need to feel as though I'm not doing a whole bunch of futile tasks just to be doing them. I don't need to be busy just to be busy. I want to be busy doing good things that help, that make things that I care about better. And I just haven't found that yet. I don't know. We'll see.